Can you hear me? I have instructions about the mic and watch the red light over there. The red light is on. It must be a big box of candy too. I take this home to get complimentary candy. Hi, my name is Tim Donaldson. I live in Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. I used to live in Northport. Wouldn't you know that? And I used to be the scoutmaster of Troop 110. Anyone ever hear of Troop 110? I'm up in town. My brother lives in town, just outside town, the next town over in Hudson Falls. And I came up this weekend to visit him. And I thought I'd stop over tonight. I'm with my nephew. We went over to Davison's, and we were hanging out over there. And Mrs. Davis said, yeah, they were in last night, so I figured, well, they must be over at the hotel, so I just took a chance to come over here.
I don't think you can. I'm going to talk a little louder because this thing's even. So the deal is, I went over to Davidson with my nephew, Bill Donaldson, over there. Happens to be one of the ace ski instructors at West Mountain. That's right. So this guy knows everything there is about skiing. All right, this guy is very athletic. Anyway, so we're over at Davidson's tonight at family dinner. Spent a lot of money over there, but he's worth it. I don't know. So we thought we'd come over here and stop over and see who was here, thinking, well, the troop, I don't know if they even showed up this weekend, but there's no snow on the ground. So we came over and I saw a few people and I said, yeah, come on in. I said, well, I don't want to mooch on your heel. I said, no, come on in anyway. So I just want to say thank you to Mr. Ackerman, Scoutmaster. Mr. Ackerman had me last year come in and speak about how this trip got started. And I also wanted to show thank you to Joe McCorney. He is the Scoutmaster that took over for me. And probably, I don't know if a lot of you guys remember Joe McCorney. I know he's an old guy and everything. But he took over for me, you know. And I'll tell you how I got Joe McCorney to become Scoutmaster, right? Now, any Scoutmaster will tell you, I'm sure Mr. Ackerman can tell you this, the first thing you do when you become a Scoutmaster is to decide who's going to be the Scoutmaster after you. So on the first day you become Scoutmaster, you're, great. The second day is, okay, who's going to do this after me, right? Because it's a tough job. So I did it for a number of years. I did it from 1997 to 2002, I think it was. And every meeting I said, oh, I gotta get somebody to do it, right? And I asked a lot of people, they didn't want to, ask, they didn't want to. It's a tough job. Not to say it's not fun, but you want to see how you can ease out of it. So we went on a camping trip once, and the guys, my assistant scoutmaster was saying, wait till Joe McCorney becomes it. His son is in Cub Scouts up at, I think it was Ocean Avenue. He said, this guy Joe is a great guy. Just wait for him. I said, yeah, right. So what am I going to do? So I think the first time that Joe and his son joined the troop, we went on a camping trip somewhere on Long Island. And we're walking around with Joe, this scoutmaster. Joe, isn't this fun? Don't you just love this? All these kids having this. Wouldn't you love to do this someday? And so I planted the seed. It took a few years after that, but I finally got him. And he did the same thing for you, Mr. Ackerman, didn't he? All right, what I want to tell you about the thing I want to say I know Mr. Ackerman had a problem with somebody else. But he said, a lot of people up for the first time, why don't you tell them just a small version, a mini version of how this trip got started, all right? So, okay, it got started because when I took over the troop, and there was a scoutmaster before me, and he was a one-year scoutmaster. He was a scoutmaster that was kind of like, he only did it because no one else would do it. Can't think of his name. I'm sorry, I forget his name. But anyway, as his 1 year scoutmaster, what he left behind as his legacy was that he took a bunch of scouts, including my son and a bunch of other kids, up to Catskills for a ski trip. One of the dads had a condominium up in Ski Wyndham, I think it was, right? So he took a bunch of kids, like 6 kids, my son, a few of the other scouts, up to Ski Wyndham. A couple of the other dads went out. They stayed in the condo. They had a great time. My son came back, loved it. It was great. I didn't go. So anyway, it was over and done. So Mr. Kessel, Phil Kessel, he finished out. I became scoutmaster. I'm doing my thing, doing my trips and whatnot. So winter time comes around. We're planning out our trip for January. So I'm thinking, well, we'll do a camping trip on Long Island. We'll go out to I don't know, Cedar Point. Well, do something pretty neat like that. So one of my little scouts, Kyle Van Nostrand, not so little anymore, but Kyle Van Nostrand said, and my son too, Mr. Donaldson, Mr. Kessel did a ski trip last year. Are we doing a ski trip in January? I said, I don't know, I don't really like skiing very much. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. So I said, well, when my kids were little, I used to bring them up here to go skiing, and we'd go to West Mountain, because my brother lives like 10 miles out of town here, right? So I'd come up with my family, and my sister would bring her kids up about the same age as my kids. She'd come up from Montclair, New Jersey, and we'd come up around this weekend. We'd all get together, and my sister would make all the sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. And we'd go out to West Mountain, and we ski out there. We'd go back to my brother's place, and we'd hang out there. We'd go back to West Mountain, you know, all that kind of stuff. Kids had a great time. So I said, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe I'll bring a few people up there. We'll stay at my brother's place. So the first year, my troop was kind of small. I was brand new scoutmaster. We had like 8 scouts in the troop. It was pretty small, you know. So I said, oh, who wants to go? So I had like 4 or 5 scouts that wanted to go. Dave Lucas and my son and I don't know, Kyle Van Nostrand and a couple other kids. Okay, we'll go. So I got a couple of dads. We stayed at my brother's place. I said, bring your camping gear. Bring your sleeping bags. We're gonna stay at my brother's place. We're gonna sleep on the floor out there. So I call him. Hey, Paul, you mind if I bring a couple? Yeah, Paul, bring a couple of scouts. So I show up and all these scouts show up. 7 or 8 scouts. So we sleep on the floor. We go skiing. We sleep on the floor. We have a fireplace and get a big hot tub out there. And a big farm out there. It was a lot of fun. So we went back. And he goes, oh, Miss Don, that was great. You're gonna do it next year? I said, well, I didn't really plan on it, but you guys had a good time? Yeah. I said, yeah, okay. We'll do it again. Next year, the troop got bigger. We went from 8 scouts to like 15 scouts or whatever. Yeah, I thought, well, let's do the trip again. So I told him, hey, Paul, I'm bringing up like 16 scouts and a couple of the parents. Okay, if we stay at your place? Yeah, sure, come on up. So we kind of like went to his place. We kind of, kids had their sleeping bags and stayed there, and using the hot tub and the whole thing like that. My brother saying, yeah, there's kind of a lot of kids here. Okay. Anyway, we're good. We went back home. Next year, you know, we had like, I don't know, 22 kids in the troop. Got bigger. So planning the trip. Hey, Paul, I'm bringing up like 22 scouts. Is that okay? No, not again. Well, you know, I want to do something different. But all right, well, it's a scouting trip, so I want to make it like a scouting adventure, you know. And by now the parents were interested. Yeah, we want to come up too. We want to go skiing too. We get this great discount. So one of the moms said, yeah, let me look online and said, oh, find a hotel. So this place, yeah, it's pretty good. We'll check it out. But okay, parents, brothers and sisters, friends and relatives. You can stay here at the hotel. But we're Boy Scouts. We're going camping. So in the middle of January, I rent a couple of cabins at the Boy Scout camp in a couple of towns over in Fort Ann. What was it? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Fort Ann. So I rent a couple of scout camps, a couple of scout cabins, thinking, oh, the scout cabins, how bad could that be, right? Oh, they were bad. No electricity, no running water. It was the coldest winter on record, I think, in this area. So I have all the scouts in these cabins out there at this place. It was freezing cold. We had to use latrines, and it was like 12 below zero, and it was just miserable, right? We were cold, we were grouchy, we were hungry. And so we go skiing with the kids, and we take them over, and then we'll skiing. And the parents would say, oh, we had a great time at the hotel in the hot tub. And, you know, we were hanging out at the bar, and it was good all the time. And meanwhile, we got to go back to this freezing cold cabin, right? So a lot of the kids say, oh, Mr. Donaldson, would it be okay if I stay with my parents tonight at the hotel? Yeah. So the first night I had like 15 scouts out there at the cabins, right? On Friday night. And then we went skiing Saturday, and then half the kids said, I'm going back to the hotel with my parents. Okay, fine. So I had like 7 kids next night, right? On Sunday night, or Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night. And then the last night, the only kids camping out were the sons of the scout leaders. And it was like 4 kids. Everybody else was back in the hotel. So he said, okay, that's the done deal. So ever since then, we came down to the hotel. We got the hot tub, we got the bar, we got the dining hall, we got the mountain. So it's a little bit more of a family-friendly adventure, right? It's still a scouting trip, but it's not kind of a high adventure trip, but still it's an awful lot of fun. Okay, so year 4, there's more to the story. It's not over yet, right? Bear with me, right? The dinner. I want to talk about how the dinner came about. Year 4 is everybody stayed at the hotel, or local. They didn't have to stay here. They stayed anywhere in the area, right? So we went out skiing there at the mountain. And then the thing was, like, at the end of the day, everybody said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. And then they went to Pizza Hut, they went to McDonald's. Everyone just went on their own. There was no plan. So I got back. I said, I was talking to my one of my assistants, the treasurer, Laura Ross. Maybe you know the name. I said, Laura, there's something missing here. I said, it's a good trip. Everyone has a good time. But I feel like I'm leading a tour of, like Ferrello's tour of the North Country. I'm taking people up there and skiing and, just following me. Like, it's not a scouting trip. I said, there's something missing here. There's no real scouting function going on. I said, how about a dinner? I said, yeah, that's perfect. So she arranged to make the dinner. And that was like at least 10 years ago now, maybe even more. So every year, the dinner is put together by one of the moms. I'm not sure who did it this year, but whoever did it, congratulations. This trip was like the selling point. When the kids would come down to visit my troop down there, the Weebos come down, and you talk about, what do we do different from Troop 41 or Troop 5 or Troop 302, whatever. Because, you got a couple of choices, right? So what's good about our troop? What do we do special? Well, we do the West Mountain trip. And that's a family trip where you, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your uncles, your aunt, your grandparents, everybody in your family can participate in a scout trip, and you don't have to sleep on a cold, wet, damp ground because you're in a fancy hotel. You got whatever you want. So this to me is like the selling point of why do kids want to join, not what's the kids, why do the moms and dads want to join Troop 410? It's because you and you and you and you and Mr. Ackerman brings everybody up here for a family-oriented, fun weekend with Troop 410. Yo, Troop 410, yo Ravens. Good job, Mr. Ackerman.